live. We are Hat and Beard Show. You are Mad Hatter Nation. Guys, how you doing? How you doing? Welcome or welcome back to, I don't want to say an ongoing series, but a little bit of a deep dive into something. And look, I don't want anyone to get come into this with the wrong idea. I am not by any stretch of the imagination an investigative journalist, and I don't know what I'm really doing. Okay. But what I am is I'm somebody who, well, I don't like to just fix things. I kind of like to figure out what the root cause is here. And when you start to look under things and shine some lights on things, you start to kind of go, well, I don't really like the way this is kind of starting to look. You know what I mean? Past experiences are starting to lead me to believe the information and indications are that it is such a one thing, and I don't want to make assessments or judgments yet. So what we're going to do, you, me, and everybody in between, we're going to just kind of go through all the information that's available to us, right? We have not only the work done by and forgive me, brother, if I'm mispronouncing it, DerGoMobby. Sorry if I don't know. I'm a fucking idiot, dude. Whoopsie, YouTube's gonna penalize me on that one. Oh, a little slap on the wrist there. Yeah, to counteract that, could you guys hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video around? Copy that link down your clipboard. We're gonna go through his final installment here on Pebble on Kitty. And then we're going to go through Lion Syndicate and the SyndiCats special, a little hour and a half long. We're going to kind of skip around maybe a little bit. I don't really know how long we're going to go through all of it. But as information comes about, we're going to kind of go through all the information that's available to us online. Guys, I have the links in the description provided. You and me are just going to hold hands and frolic through this field while we try and figure out what's going on. And then we'll try to connect some dots. And then maybe at the end, we'll talk about possibility of what we can do. If you could, again, subscribe, channel, notifications, stuff. I don't want to sound... Don't come after me, Kino Casino, because I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to roll my tacky-ass intro. Let's go, you guys.
If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
Oh shit, Mr. Trey City, what's I don't know, man. Don't bail yet, dude. Don't bail yet. I look, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. So let's just kind of dive into this here. Just so you guys are aware, I have reached out to some of the people involved, right? And we're waiting to hear back. Some of you in the community have been involved with this, so we're just trying to kind of go through and see what we can see. Okay, let's try to not get too down. But we did watch the first installment of DerGoMobby over here. So let's go ahead and play Checkmate: How a Detroit Lions YouTuber was exposed for charity deception.
I said that the audience needed less riddles and more receipts. It appears he heard that. And what he did next was more useful to this story than anything we could have scripted ourselves. He typed it himself in capital letters on the very page where he is still collecting money. So before we get into what the Wayback Machine found, before we get into the illegal raffles that are still running, before we get into the fact that he is still calling these payments donations to a cancer foundation, let's take a moment to appreciate the
look, I know what you're doing, but try not to frame it so negatively, dude. At least let us like just present the information
Full
first.
arc of what just
No
happened.
offense.
Because this is a masterclass in what overconfidence looks like.
Got it
when
pulled up right here.
finally meets documentation.
This is
Let's go back to the beginning of this defense, because
just real quick, just so we're aware. I do have the current iteration of the Rocked On Cancer Foundation's Buy Me a Coffee. Can you see it on? Can you see it? The URL right there. I got it pulled up. I'm trying to be as transparent as I can, guys. We're trying to just like, you know what I mean? I've been invaded. Damn, I've been invaded for real. Oh, well, my bad. MDC is right on that. No shit. Well, I'm sorry. I have really no control over it. But just so you guys are aware, I do have the most current iteration. What I did, so you guys are aware, as we listen to the information provided to us by DerGoMobby and then the SyndiCats, all I did was I just pulled up Google, dude, and I just literally just typed into the Google box, "Will Rock Rocked On Lions," right? And so we're just going to use the information that's provided to us, okay? I'm just using the Google box, dude. I'm just using the Google box. So here you see this is the current iteration of the Rocked On Cancer Foundation. Let's be the change. So we can kind of compare and contrast from what Dergo has pulled up of the Wayback Machine versus the current iteration and see if there's any changes.
in his own words, they're the most important evidence in this video. He told us to research the difference between a 501c3 and a charitable cause prior to foundation status. He said it was pretty common stuff, and we failed to understand the mechanisms. It had nothing to do with the IRS, and we were looking at the wrong name. Sound like throwing shit at a wall. And maybe, just maybe, we should possibly consider.
I mean, Mr. Detroit City, though, hey, bud, you're a mod in my channel, though, man. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? You're good, bro. You know what I mean? Like, just because their viewers are here, like, just because their mods are viewers here, you're a mod over here. You know what I mean? Like, oh, see, Brandy was a mod over there, too. You know what I mean? We're good, though.
Might be
We're
a
good.
different
You guys are good.
name involved.
We're chilling.
He spoke with the confidence of someone who believed the audience would never actually look anything up.
All right. So he had pulled up here discovery. Theater is no discovery against me when I sue for defamation. Learn the law. He jazzed to provide his source of evidence for his claims, and he has none. Ever think there may be a different name of the company, or better yet, quote, entity? Okay. So we're being asserted that the name. Okay, so he provides no evidence for his source that the claims of that it's fraudulent, right? And that there might be a different name of a company, or better yet, entity, right? So he's saying that Rocked On Cancer Foundation is not the name that we should be looking up for as a registered charity at the time. At the time. Okay.
Spoke with the confidence of someone who believed the audience would never actually look anything up. We looked everything up, and then something interesting happened.
Raffle and donations agreement. By participating, you acknowledge that your ticket purchase constitutes a contribution to the ROCF. All contributions are final, and no refunds will be issued. A purchase does not guarantee a win. The odds of winning depend on total number of eligible entries received. The purchase does not guarantee a win. Right. All contributions are final, and no refunds will be issued. Okay, but is there like a threshold to the raffle? This raffle is void and prohibited by law.
He logged into his own fundraising page and published a disclaimer that answered every single one of his own deflections. Let's read it together one last time. Rocked On Cancer Foundation is not a Michigan 501c3.
So that's up now, and I have the Buy Me a Coffee /RO. We'll just his thing, right? And it is down here, right? is not a Michigan 501c3. All charitable donations made are not tax exempt. So that is on here now, which, I mean, at least there's that.
There it is, in his own words, finally on his own page. All charitable donations made are not tax exempt. So when he said this thing had nothing to do with the IRS, he was right. It has nothing to do with the IRS because the IRS has never been involved. There is no tax exempt status, there's no determination letter or recognition of any kind from any federal tax authority.
Right.
When we reach that status in the near future, we will be happy to provide receipts. And that is when, not when we had it, not when we lost it, when we reach it. Future tense, meaning it has never existed. Not on the day the first dollar was collected, not on the day the first raffle ticket was sold, not on the day the first $30 coffee.
When we reach that status in the near future, we will be happy to provide receipts. For the time being, we are a cause-based campaign providing a fundraising building to our goal. So slimy, dude.
His subscription was charged,
So
not
slimy.
once. For the time being,
Why gotta be
we
so
are a
slimy,
cause-based
dude?
campaign providing a fundraiser
I don't
building
like it.
to our goal. There is the different company name he kept hinting at.
Cause-based marketing campaigns, often themed charitable sales promotions or commercial ventures, are heavily regulated at the state level to ensure transparency and prevent deceptive advertising. Legally for-profit entities
It
conducting
is not a
these.
foundation
What is cause-based campaign that is not attached to a charity but still soliciting money?
or a nonprofit. It is not a 501c3. It's not a registered charity. It's not a registered.
What is a personal fundraiser that brands his personal fundraiser as a cancer foundation
Fundraiser.
called?
It's not a commercial co-venture tied to a licensed charitable
You
organization.
just asking GPT?
It is a
This is
cause-based campaign. What is a cause-based campaign?
Yeah, I'm not trying to be a dick, dude, but it looks like you're using GPT based on the source bubbles right there. I'm not trying to be a dick. When a person markets a personal fundraiser as a, quote, foundation without having the legal status of a 501c3 nonprofit, it is most accurately described as charity frauden. See what I'm doing there? Allegedly. In Minecraft, whatever. Or a donation scheme. Yeah. It does kind of feel that way, doesn't it?
Pain. It's a sentence. Let's talk about what the disclaimer actually admits, because I want the audience to understand every word of what just happened. He admitted the Rock Dorn Cancer Foundation is not a foundation. He admitted none of the money qualifies as charitable donation under any tax framework. He admitted there is no entity, no organization, no structure that connects these payments to any registered charity. He admitted that the donors cannot file these payments on their taxes. He admitted that receipts cannot be provided because the legal status to provide them does not exist yet. And he did all of that on the same page where the button still says Support Rock Dorn Cancer Foundation, where the gold bar still reads $50,000, where the raffles are still running and the money is still flowing. The name says foundation. The disclaimer says not a foundation. He is asking the audience to give money to something he himself admits does not legally exist. This is not a technicality. This was my point.
So, keeping that in mind, Rock Down Lions Foundation. Let's just read what it is. Now, pay attention to some of this stuff. And I want you to just let me know if you're seeing the same thing I'm seeing here, right? So, Rock Down Cancer Foundation, let's be the change, right? 5 stars, good for you, right? A 5-star rating with two reviews, right? I'm going to be honest. This is very, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott of you. Quote, if we don't put ourselves in vulnerable positions, how can we expect others to help others in a vulnerable state? Will Rock. Yeah, well, buddy, that's a mile wide and an inch deep right there. That's a mile wide and an inch deep there thought, bud. That's not a lake. That's a swamp thought, dude. That's not as deep as you think it is, bro. Okay. Okay. Become a whisper of hope. Cancer patients breathe a little easier during their incredibly difficult journey. Email more. There's the email. If anybody wants to email for more information, cancerfoundations@rockedon.com. The story of it was born out of a shared vision to support and uplift those battling cancer, founded by Will Rock, a survivor himself. The foundation's mission is absolute. No one should face cancer alone. In 2023, Will was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. The shockwave hit his family just 9 months after his partner, Megan, had been diagnosed with breast cancer. So that'd be in like 2022. As she entered her fourth surgery, Will was heading into his first. Navigating this dual battle exposed the massive emotional and financial toll the disease takes on a family, leaving them to grapple with fear, uncertainty, and limited options. Navigating this dual battle exposed the massive emotional and financial toll. The medical hurdle and need for change. Will's diagnosis came years after medical oversight. Despite his requests for testing, doctors dismissed his concerns, resulting in multiple endocrine disorders. Even after self-referring to a cancer center, the fallout from the eventual removal surgery caused severe ongoing medical complications. Today, Will is still fighting. After seeing over 14 specialists, he is currently undergoing further testing with the Cleveland Clinic. What is self-referring? What is self-referring? How does one self? Will's diagnosis came years after medical oversight. Despite his request for testing, doctors dismissed his concerns, resulting in multiple endocrine disorders. Even after self-referring to a cancer center, the fallout from the eventual removal surgery caused severe ongoing medical complications. Is that something that happens? Is that like what do you mean by severe medical complications? Are we talking like normal complications post-thyroid removal surgery? And look, man, I'm not accusing people. I'm just trying to reframe it into a different lens here. You know, there are some people that think they have illnesses that maybe they don't have. And if you forcibly remove things from your body that maybe don't need to be removed, there could potentially be medical complications. I'm not saying that's what happened, but what I'm saying is that the diagnosis came years after medical oversight. Despite his request for testing, doctors dismissed his concerns. I am not one to believe doctors, but if you're saying years of dismissed concerns resulting in endocrine disorders, even after self-referring to a cancer center. So you referred yourself to a cancer center and then had removal surgery. I don't know. I'm just hey, I'm just asking questions. I'm just putting it through a different lens here, bud. Thyroid cancer is often slow growing with vague symptoms that can go undetected for years. Okay, vague symptoms. Okay. Too often it is only caught in advanced stages because insurance hurdles and medical dismissals prevent early necessary upworks. The systemic failure highlighted a massive gap in patient advocacy, a gap this foundation intends to close. Although I don't disagree with you that, yes, I do find that there is a wild medical industrial complex in the United States that just like is a profit machine. You're just trying to drive emotion right there. That's all that is. You're placating on people who are already pre-programmed to be triggered by insurance hurdles and medical dismissals. Okay, Luigi, you know what I'm saying? Turning therapy into a platform, waking up from surgery, Will found a renewed purpose. You found Jesus, right? You found Jesus? Facing a lifelong medical battle, he refused to let his childhood dream of working in the sports. So you're being selfish. You didn't find Jesus. Okay, no. Leveraging his decade, charity should be founded in Christ, not in you want to fucking. Okay, so hang on, just roll with me. If we look at the verbiage here, you and your family were diagnosed with cancer. You admit to facing financial toll the disease takes. You admit that doctors dismissed you. You had to self-refer to a cancer center where removal surgery caused complications. Even after seeing 14 specialists, you're still undergoing further testing. I'm not saying that's not possible. You load it out with emotional fluff work. You go on to say that when you woke up from surgery, you found a renewed purpose, that you wanted to pursue your childhood dream. That's fine. So do that. But I mean, we're getting into some pretty nuanced takes here about, you know, I want to secure your own oxygen mask and get into that gray area shit, man, where it's like, you know, legally, yeah, you could start a charity to fund your own foundation or to fund your own, like, Make-A-Wish. like you might as well just call it Make My Wish, you know? It's socially weird that you're not gonna, like, put other people first in your charity foundation. Like, you're blatantly saying me 3 separate times. I diagnosed myself, I was broke, and I wanted to pursue my childhood dream. Leveraging his decades of experience as a 28-year Detroit Lions season ticket holder and former youth coach. Good. Hey, guys, did you know that I'm a Michelin star chef because I like cheeseburgers? I'm a 38-year cheeseburger fan. That makes me a experienced. I have decades of experience in eating cheeseburgers. Therefore, I am a 5-star, 6-star, 29-star. I'm inventing stars. They're not even Michelin stars. They're hat and beard stars. Bitch. Because I've been eating cheeseburgers for so long. Vocal therapy evolved on Rocked On Sports Media Network and the Detroit Football Journal. Okay, this is going to kind of shift gears a little bit here. So he's an accredited. Where's it here? It says he's accredited. Located on YouTube, Rocked On Lions and Detroit Football Journal. Post-game in-depth discussions. Journalism, Beyond the Beat, standard reporting. Suppose why, bypass daily churn, generic, blah, blah, blah. Where the fuck did it say it, dude? Credentials and development. I'm committed to no regrets, pursuit of the game. NFL media credentials 2024 to present. Now, you're accredited through your own companies. Kind of like how you're starting a foundation to fund your own or to make your own childhood charities come true. So you started your own media company to get your own credentials to make yourself seem important after or while starting Make My Wish Foundation. Make my dream come true foundation. Like, it's fine if you want to do that, but don't call it this. Just start a GoFundMe. Just literally, and just be open about it, dude. Come on, man. Personal therapy thriving in the community. To test the platform's reach, we promoted a GoFundMe for a total stranger. Okay, what started as a personal therapy quickly became a thriving community. To test the platform's reach, Will promoted a GoFundMe for a total stranger battling terminal cancer. The campaign surpassed its goal in 72 hours. The answer was clear. The community was ready to be a voice for change. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, Kane. Yeah. Let's try and hold off on that yet, dude. Yeah, Rick, no shit, dude. No shit, bro. Just so you guys, if you guys are watching this later, I'm leaving the live chat up so that people can watch the live chat. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I don't have live chat. I got top chat. I'm sorry, guys. Hey, if I missed your chats, I'm sorry, guys. My bad. All right. So the mission, the foundation's mission, the ultimate goal of the media network was to build and fund the Rocked On Cancer Foundation. We are dedicated. So the ultimate goal of the media network was to always build the Rocked On Cancer Foundation, which, if the ultimate goal was to do that, couple that with the ultimate goal being to become a 501c3, what you're saying is like, okay, what you were really trying to do here was get a bunch of slimy capital investment from people donating to a charity that you had immediate access to the funds that you didn't have designated as a 501c3, right? You were then using your businesses, the ultimate goal of the media company, the media network, meaning the Detroit Football Journal and Rocked On Sports or whatever your thing is, you were then going to funnel all of that money into the 501c3 so that you didn't have to washing machine go burr. Helping alleviate the crushing burden of medical expenses, emotional support, facilitating counseling and support groups for parents, patients, and families. Bro, facilitating counseling and support groups. That is a way, am I reading this in that emotional support, meaning we will, I'm reading that as in we will help you get, we will go out and find the resources for you, so give us money. I'm pretty sure that in the state of Michigan, the state is pretty liberal with funding that type of stuff. It's pretty easy to get. So what do you mean by facilitating counseling? Are you going to, are you posing yourself as a mediator between the state welfare system and the people that, bro, are you operating as a middleman and taking donations to operate and clean your own, am I getting far too in the weeds here, guys? Am I thinking too much about this right now? You know what I mean? The impact, the community's response validates the mission. One anonymous subscriber battling cancer for 3 years. So when did this go up? Let's read the quote. It took incredible courage to provide for others while you yourself were struggling. You've inspired me to keep pushing. You taught me that staying consistent is half the battle. One anonymous subscriber battling cancer for 3 years. Well, if this is when did this charity start? When did you start this? He's saying he's going to pay their medical bill. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, well, or he's paying his medical bills. So an anonymous subscriber or whatever said how great he is, who's been battling cancer for 3 years. If this was started in 2026, you were diagnosed in 2023. That's 3 years. If you started this in 2025, well, by your own math and admission right here, your wife was diagnosed with cancer in 2022, more or less. Anonymously, kind of a self-glaze, dude. A Rocked On team member echoed the statement. To think that Will would persistently show up even when he was sick to help others is a statement about who he is. His core principles align with helping others first. That drive is exactly why this foundation was funded. Pause. You have 2 quotes. One from a Rocked On team member and one from someone who's been battling cancer for 3 years, in which that time frame lands exactly in you and your wife's diagnosis. There are 2 reviews on your Buy Me a Coffee Cancer Foundation that you said the ultimate goal of the media network was to always build and fund the Rocked On Cancer Foundation. And then finally you do admit, thanks to the pressure put on you by DerGoMobby. Oh, you guys! Oh, you guys! I get to be the 69th like on his video. Oh, dude! Oh, it's all coming round, dude. Ha 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 ha! It is all meant to be. It all that comes full circle. So you do admit that you're not yet a 501c3 cancer foundation. Charitable donations made are not tax exempt yet. You admit over here that you're not going to be refunding people. Right here. This raffle is void. Rocked On fan. All contributions are final. No refunds will be issued. Dude, look, man, if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, bro. Am I wrong? Am I wrong on this? Yeah, Neil, dude. Bro, Mad Hatter Nation, guys, you guys are am I reading too much into this? I'm not trying to drag someone with cancer, dude. I'm not, but like at the same time, I can't get past the information directly in front of us here, guys. In 23, you diagnosed with thyroid cancer. The diagnosis came years after medical oversight, despite his requests for testing. Bro. You were diagnosed with thyroid cancer. You say it right here. In 2023, you were diagnosed with thyroid cancer. All right, appreciate it. Grandma Tracy said that it's been up since at least 23. Okay. All right. Well, then the timeline still lines up, though. What's up, Sleepy? How you doing? If he has receipts for donations, then this is a witch hunt. Raw, I mean, to an extent, I guess, but like, yes. So if we can have receipt of donations and that they're going to so okay, this is where it gets kind of gray, and like I see what he's doing. It's that whole like, but is it illegal though? You know what I mean? I'm not hurling accusations. I'm just saying like what it kind of looks like. So yes, ultimately you are correct. If he can show receipt that the money is going to the charity and not to his personal bank account, which unfortunately is the main perk of Buy Me a Coffee, right? That's like the big thing about Buy Me a Coffee is that you can draw the money right out, like right out. You know what I'm saying? Let's check it out. Buy Me a Coffee, fun, easy, couple of taps. Your fans can make payments, buy you coffee, and leave a message. That's cool. Yes, it's like super chats, dude. You know what I'm saying? Earning income by earn a reoccurring income. It says right on their front page, start a membership for your biggest fans. You can earn an income introducing shop, creative ways to sell, publish your best work, designed for creators, not for businesses. We don't call them customers or transactions. They are your supporters. You get to talk to a human for help. You have 100% ownership of your supporters. We never email them, and you can export the list at any time. You get paid instantly into your bank account. No more 30-day delays. That's cool, right? That's cool. That's, as a creator, that's super duper cool. You can make up to 20% more compared to other platforms, right? Because they take like, I think 5%. It's some real small margin, right? Now, Raw, you are not wrong. If there is receipt, and this is because I can't sit in my little glass house here and hurl stones, right? Reffy, the 69th, like there's a God. Because, you know, I did the little bullshit charity where we raised like a little over $500 through super chats. I mean, most of it was through my gambling winnings. Let's be honest, guys. Of the like $500 that we made, I think 400 and some of it came from my gambling winnings. So it was basically self-funded. And I just cash withdrew, put it in an envelope, and took it to the church. Now, knowing that there's all of this involved and wanting to always be as transparent with you guys as possible, there will be a different approach to that this year, right? So we will try. But I do agree with you. Who the fuck is that? I don't know that number. Do I know that number? I don't know that number. Phone calls galore, guys. What was I talking about? What the fuck was I on? So yes, ultimately what this comes down to is just a receipt. You know what I mean? All this can be cleared up if we were to have receipt of transaction, right? If we can show that, you know what? Yes. And you're getting there. I will admit. Okay, we can't just sit here and be like poo-poo on you, okay? Because if people are going to be criticized, that criticism is valid if that individual learns from it. It's warranted. Both parties win. Admittedly, he has gone on to say Rock Don Cancer Foundation is not a Michigan 501c3. All charitable donations made are not tax exempt. Focus on that. At least he's attempting there. Now, let's figure out how can we be transparent about this, right? Because there is, you know, we shouldn't chalk up to malice what could be chalked up to ignorance, right? I'm over here saying, are you washing money? Are you funding yourself? Because that is a lens that you can look through it, right? There is another lens where he's going, the only way that I know how to do this, is to have it go here. I'm just going to then take that money and put it into the foundation. If the legalities, the nuances, the regulations around that, I'm not concerned about that right now. Right? I want to focus on the morality of this subject. So if we can have some type of proof, you know what I'm saying? Or even an explanation of this is what my intent was. you are already on the right track here. Let's be honest. You are. You're admitting, hey, look, hey, no, you called me on my shit. Here I am. I'm trying to make I'm at least trying to turn the boat into the right direction. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I do agree with Raw. That some receipt would indeed clear up a lot of this. It doesn't, though. If one were to read through this the way that I read through this, am I off base for what I was pointing out, guys? Am I wrong? Am I off base for highlighting the dates, the years, the diagnoses, the lack of diagnoses, the self-diagnoses? If you look at the comments from a team member, a random subscriber whose timeline lines up exactly with these diagnoses, on top of the admission of waking up from surgery, a lifelong battle, I refuse to let my childhood dream of working in the sports industry fade. So, like, not to be that guy, dude, but you're kind of admitting you started this foundation to chase your own dream. Which, again, if that's what you want, just be honest, man. Just say that. Don't masquerade as Robin Hood. You know what I'm saying? Don't try and be the guy fighting the good fight if you are just going to be selfish. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, dude. Just, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. This just seems kind of fishy, dude. I would just like a little bit of clarity. How do we feel, Mad Hatter Nation? How are we feeling? Does memberships go to the foundation? I don't know. Does he have... It doesn't appear that he has memberships on this side of it, Raw. It appears to just be a donation or whatever. I've never used Buy Me a Coffee. I'm a poor, dude. I don't have money to give to people. I'm poor as fuck. Fuck, man. Sounds like Will got the jab. Yeah, Jack. There you go, dude. The fact that God knows Will's heart. Hell yeah, Edward. Man, I love you guys, dude. You guys are the fucking best, chat, dude. You guys are so fucking based, dude. You guys are so unbelievably based. That's why, like, I feel so comfortable being just, like, as transparent as I can with you guys. And I feel comfortable asking you if I'm wrong. Because you guys are just based as shit. You're going to tell me yes or no. You know what I mean? Will's intentions are good and pure of heart. Awesome if there's ulterior motive. Well, dog peon. Yes, exactly, dude. Called our wonderful commander-in-chief a psychopath on X and blocked me for no reason? He blocked you, Brandy? Pfft, all right, dildo. That's just a dildo move right there, dude. Double-ended. There's holes on both sides if someone doesn't know about charity setups and charity. Yeah, dude, and that's Raw. That's a very good point, dude, because that's exactly where I have to give grace to him because I am guilty of doing the exact same shit last year. Because I didn't know. I didn't know that there was all this involved. I'm over here last year for like 2 months being like, hey guys, give me your super chats so that I can give it to fucking charity. Now I showed you my fucking dashboard, right? After I cashed it out, I showed you guys my earnings because it was the day that I got monetized for super chats. From that day until the I think it was Black Friday was the last day we could get the donations in. Because what it did is my church partnered with Meyer, and whatever I donated, they doubled it, right? So that's why I was like, come on, guys. And so we ended up donating, almost $1,500 combined with the Meyer donation, right? But it was all just through Super Chats. But I'm pretty sure I showed you guys my dashboard. You know what I'm saying? If not, I can pull it up. I can show you my earnings if you want. It's not impressive. There's nothing that you'll be like, oh. I don't make any money on this motherfucker, dude. I barely hit 50 cents. I think I just hit the 50 cents earnings over on Rumble. Doesn't know about charity. Work says someone is a fraud and wants to prove it. You could make a case both ways on perspective. He saw 14 specialists who told him he didn't have cancer before. Before the cancer was found. Nah, bro. Receipts will prove defamation. The lack would prove fraud. So here's the thing, Raw. defamation is a incredibly hard thing to prove, dude. It is such a hard thing to prove. Most people just throw that phrase around because they heard it on TV. But, like, defamation is very, very hard to prove. Could he try it? Sure. But, like, that's ultimately... That I don't know if that's the right... Cost-benefit analysis. Okay. In the Big 2-6, the court of public opinion ultimately weighs more than anything else, right? Like, okay, for example, how do we feel about Chud? How do we feel about Chud, guys? How do we feel about Chud the Builder, huh? How are we feeling about Chud? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Raw. I appreciate that, man. I will talk about, guys, I do want to talk about donations. And stuff like that at the end of the episode. I'm trying to figure something. I'm trying to punch out of my weight class and see if some people want to help out with some stuff, dude. We're trying to do something good here, dude. We're trying to figure something out, dude. But So how do we feel about Chud, you guys? How do we feel about Chud, right? Can Broski Bear sue me for defamation for calling him a Bears fan? As Blockade Pancake, don't know yet. You as Brandy, was you not on a mid or a mod for the Pebble, for Little Pebble? Personally, I was tired of the whole Will Rock Tall anymore. I honestly, guys, I don't know anything about his content, guys. I don't watch him. I don't watch much Lions content, guys. I really don't. If you want me, dude. Rick, yeah, honestly, dude, I think Broski is Moldy Teeth, and Moldy Teeth was being an asshole to my mom, so I told him to get fucked. And I don't know. Yeah, okay, yeah, Kane. So the Chud thing, Chud is very forgettable, right? Like, so my point about court of public opinion is that, like, old Chud the Builder, right? We can sit there and laugh at him, you know what I'm saying? And technically, by the letter of the law, he is entitled and protected to use certain verbiage, right? But being an asshole has consequences, dude. And so here's the thing, dude. The situation he's in right now, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I think Chud's going to prison, dude. I think Chud the Builder's going to prison, dude. And this isn't anything against him. I laugh at his videos, dude. I'm like, this is funny. Ultimately, I think we all knew that this was going to happen. Someone, there's always a bigger fish, dude. You know, Qui-Gon Jinn said it best. There's always a bigger fish. When you deliberately instigate shit and have the persona of instigating shit, I don't know if, you know, the force is going to be... The force he used, I don't think was... I think it exceeded what he was met with. Does that make sense? I think he used too much force for the situation that he was in, right? All of the legal side, all of that shit aside, the court of public opinion says, whatever happens, dude, you kind of deserved it. You know what I'm saying? So... what Rock needs to focus on doing is changing how the public opinion is of him, right? And you're only going to have one opportunity, right? There's like one opportunity. And to do that, when you look at what people are kind of accusing you of, and in my opinion, my uneducated opinion, it looks pretty slimy, dude. I kind of gotta agree, dude. When you take apart what you say in your own description here, you're kind of telling on yourself, dude. Now, I'm not saying you are going to be able to fix this. But what you need to do is you need to just be as transparent as possible. Because the internet thrives on authenticity, dude. I'm not saying it's going to fix it. But right now, the best thing you could do, you have to show receipts, dude. You have to come clean. You have to show everything. And then moving forward, you have to be the most obnoxiously above board guy. If you are to possibly redeem oneself, dude, most people aren't going to get a second chance. You know what I mean? Like, people learned from the boogies of the world. You know what I mean? The wings of redemption of the world. That ship has sailed, bro. You're going to have to work incredibly hard. First and foremost, you're going to have to show receipts. That will go, I think, a long way in making it seem much more legitimate. I think that'll go farther than you really think it will. The problem, though, is that your actions leading up before the transparency have still been pretty slimy, dude. You know what I mean? Pretty slimy. Pretty slimy. You know. I can't see my friend's girlfriend because she definitely tarnishes my rep. Take as always, but will if you really listen to him. I don't, Jack. I don't listen to him. It's a very hard thing to prove. However, making videos and statements that they had made, that's a clear cut and dry if Will has receipts. Yeah, raw, unless they like blatantly say allegedly. Someone getting cancer treatments. Damn. See? Okay, Jack. Yeah. So there you go, dude. If he could even do something like that, you know, like you're saying right there, if there was like a situation where, you know, because that's where you could get into some of the more nuances of it, where, you know, okay, let's really shift gears here. Okay, let's really shift gears here, guys. Let's really reframe this. Is he perhaps like crazy libertarian and is trying to do everything he can while circumventing the IRS? Is maybe he like super hardcore, you know, taxation is theft, fuck the government type? You know what I mean? Salty Crackers, king of the allegedly. Yeah, he is Motown. Hear those videos, that word allegedly was not used once. Yeah, well, no. Those videos, yes, you are right. In DerGo's, you are correct. You are correct. Time for more of my morning hash treatments to prevent cancer and other diseases. Hell yeah. Yes, he is. Brandy, are you talking Salty Cracker, king of the allegedly? Yeah, no, Raw, I think you are correct if I'm not mistaken. In DerGo's, I don't recall the word allegedly being thrown around at all. But I do know that in SyndiCats, they use the word allegedly. And I know that because, full disclosure, I've been in communication with Derek, and he was very adamant about making sure that you use the word allegedly. You know what I mean? I know that for a fact. Like, I know that that is something he pays attention to. I know this. So let's go ahead and fire this up. We can get a little bit through this. The whole other aspect of this, because I think that what we're kind of seeing now, as more of this is unfolding, DerGo shined the light on what really chaps my ass, right? The charity really chaps my ass. I don't know, man. I feel like there's no way for me to say this without sounding like I'm trying to be better than people or an asshole. But it just really bothers me when people take advantage of other people who maybe don't maybe are a little bit more ignorant to some of the fucking evils of the world. You know what I mean? Like, dude, the Nigerian scammers really bother me. You know what I mean? Like shout out 16 Leo and watching all those videos on all the African scammers and shit. You know, the romance scammers. You know, that type of shit really bothers me to see, like, Publishers Clearinghouse and shit like that. You know, the way that people pry on. And again, I don't want to sound like I'm an asshole, but I don't like seeing vulnerable people taken advantage of. And to an extent, when you kind of label things, when you don the Cancer Foundation, there is a very specific group of people who are going to be slightly more vulnerable to that type of terminology. And when emotions are tied into it, you know, we all know that when emotions are tied into thinking, logic goes right out the window. Okay? So that's one whole side of all of this, right? The other side of all of this, there's like two pillars that really make up this whole. There's two. There's two cheeks to the whole ass. Write that down. There's two. You got to have two cheeks to make up the whole ass, right? And the first cheek is the charity. Again, without having any, rebuttal from the other party disputing it, saying the term fraud is pretty loaded. Again, what appears to be a slimy operation. How's that? And if you got a problem with that, eat my whole ass. That's how I feel. With chocolate sauce. There you go, babe. I know you love it when I say that. The other aspect to this is not really relevant to the court of legal opinion. But as we said earlier, the court of public opinion, well, that kind of dictates the ebbs and flows of the digital economy in the big 2-6, right? That's kind of what matters most is the court of public opinion. And again, that is why I try to be as transparent with you guys as I possibly can, right? No point in fuck assing around, dude. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be Jeremy from the quartering. The other side of this, though, is the treatment of people that you are working with, that you are employing, that you are in collaborations with. And again, not a fan, don't watch it, don't know, can't personally attest to it. All I can say is that, one or two, it's kind of like, all right, maybe, everybody, pickles, cucumbers. But when the crowd starts getting louder and louder and that grandma wagon gets bigger and bigger, it's kind of hard to not hear it, right? So what we have here is just kind of some, I'm gonna be honest, YouTuber drama. So we're gonna kind of just see. This is SyndiCats. What's going on here? Oh, what's up, Mr. Figs? Bro, where you been, dude? Where the fuck have you been, man? I haven't seen you in a couple days, dude. I'm not trying to be a dick, but where the fuck you been, dude? Bro, you don't know what's going on with Jeremy from the quartering, dude? Oh, bro. He's a piece of shit, dude. Check out Brittany Venti. There's a whole shitstorm. Friday Night Tights is involved. Chrissy Mayer's getting she stepped in a shitstorm. Melanie Max fucked, dude. And Brittany Venti is just like reaping the rewards right now. She is like somehow the quartering being a gigantic piece of shit to Kino Casino has like resulted in Brittany Venti coming out of this as like the ultimate winner. If you're into YouTuber drama, God, I sound like such a faggot, dude. If you're into YouTuber drama, dude, it's really funny, dude. Oh, gotcha, you're working. For sure, dude. I just want to make sure you were good, man. You know what I'm saying, dude? Look, I'm going to be honest. When some of you guys just drop off like that, I'm like, you are not allowed to DeWitt yourself, guys. We cannot do the DeWitt again. That was too traumatic, bro. Well, it doesn't backpack the community of YouTube creators. He makes solid statements on how the roster is built versus trying to bring the best players at every position. That's fair. That's fair. If that, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, dude. As an individual that kind of also goes against the crowd, I get that. Had bad intentions here, but the way he's been going about it does not pass the eye test. Dude. That's kind of Jack, and I think that's kind of what we're really getting at. Is the more that I've looked into it, it doesn't pass the sniff test, dude. So just be clean. Just come clean. Just show receipt, dude. Just show receipt, and not for nothing, dude. You have time. Like, it's already been long enough before a response, and we all know that in the age of the internet, 8 hours is a fucking eternity, dude. But just be like, hey, I'm sorry. This is what I intended to do. I did not mean to mislead you guys, and this is how I've been operating. And then just, kind of show receipt, bro. Like, I've gone so far as to think, like, if he wanted to, I'd fucking, interview him, just asking questions. I'm not going to, like, chastise you, dude. Like, I've kind of come around on it a little bit, man. Like, I think you're being kind of shady, but I'm totally willing to give you a little bit of fucking grace here, man. I'm guilty of it myself, dude. I didn't know about all the tax stuff. I solicited donations through super chats for my little charity bullshit that I ran. Wasn't quite to the scale that you were doing, but I'm just saying. I was gonna call a spade, But let's check out the treatment situation over here, because where I get kind of chapped in my ass is I hear about blocking of my fucking fans, people who I hold in high regard. I hear about mistreatment of some of the people in my community who I hold in very high regard, and that also chaps my ass. Boy, I got a really chapped ass, huh? Whoopsie poopsie. Let's go.
All right, now we live.
Also, I just got a shout out real quick. Motor City Don P, and I told him this in a message. Dude, he looks and reminds me so much of my buddy Demo, dude. He reminds me of Demo, like, right down to the beard, dude. Y'all got the same beard, and he reminds me of my buddy Demo so hard, dude. And if you guys remember my buddy Demo, that's the guy who me and him have had a ongoing argument about back when Kirk Cousins signed with Minnesota. Who would you start a franchise around at the time? Okay, at the time of Cousins going to Minnesota, who would you build a franchise around if you had to? Kirk Cousins or Dak Prescott? And he's a big Cowboys fan, dude. He'd be like, Dak! And I was like, no, dude, Kirk Cousins, bro. Come to find out we're both wrong.
That's crazy. What up, though, everybody? It is Lion Syndicate, a.k.a. Derek, and we got Motor City Cats, a.k.a. Motor City Don P. What up, though, my man?
Got to boss up and get
it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All righty, then.
We're
see.
jumping
Hopefully
ahead to get through some
we have
filler.
a full house today. It's a perfect spot for us, so we got to have a conversation, man. And shout out to everybody in the chat. We got Will I Am. We got Thunder Red. What up? We got, who else we got? We got our brother, Lions Live 365. What up, though?
Brent, that's a really good point, dude.
A whole bunch of people in the building.
See, and that's kind of the thing. It's like, that's kind of my point. Not so much on X. So you were exposed to the persona on X. I'm gonna go ahead and pin that because that's a really good message, dude. It's like, what you see on YouTube, right? Like, Raw is like, hey, dude, as far as a content creator goes, people support it, and that's fine. You can. It's just that, like, when you look at how everything kind of transpires, my read on the foundation, if you look at it through various lenses, is kind of shifty, not really my cup of tea, and people are allowed to have takes on the whole. At the same time, though, man, people are allowed to separate the creator from the content. You know what I mean? Like, or the artist from the art from the artist. What's up, Dave? How you doing, man? What's good, brother? We're all going to have to wait to see what happens. Hell yeah, dude, for sure, dude. If Will wasn't such an a-hole, people would be easier to back him. Jack, that's kind of what we're getting into. From creator channels, mods can only time you out if you're blocked. It was not done by a mod. That's for... Yeah. Tracy, I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm going to be honest. I don't know how that works. My mods would have to tell you how that works. And to be fair, I don't think I'm pretty sure that the majority of the mods in chat most days do not have. I think, if I'm being honest, and no offense, guys, there's only 2 mods that have the high end access, and I'm pretty sure that's Chase and Butcher. But that's because they've been with me literally since day one. I've known Chase since fucking middle school. Like, no offense, but I fucking know, like, I know I can walk and be like, "What up, dude?" and like high five him. You know what I mean? Like, I know him. Like, we know each other. Like, he knows my name, my actual name. And then Butcher or Beantown Breakdown. He's been, Beantown was rocking with me back when he was going through cancer treatment, and I didn't have a job and was just playing Red Dead and Madden at like 2 a.m, dude. It was just like me and fucking Butcher hanging out, bro. That was back in the day. Back in the day, dude. Way back in the day. Back in the COVID days, dude. Yeah. All right, let's get it.
Man, I don't even know where to begin with
Also,
it.
I do want to say I do appreciate. I don't know if this is normal, but I would like to kind of normalize a little bit of appreciation amongst content creators, okay? I reached out, I asked for permission, and I'm just going to publicly say it. Derek, dude, aka Lion Syndicate, thank you for giving me permission and not claiming this, dude. Thank you. That is nice of you, even though it does technically fall under fair use and all that shit. I think that a little bit of professionalism amongst content creators is a good thing, transparency.
So let's just, you guys see the title, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna, it's finally time to come clean. And Don, I wish you was more center, bro, because I would like that right there. That's what I would like. But so if you can do that for me, that would be great. So we good right there.
All right.
Because I want to be up close and personal. I want when he watched this back, I want him to look me right in the face. So
gotta look a man in his eyes.
Gotta look at him in it. Gotta do it, bro. All right, so you see the title, and the title is "The Cat's Finally Out the Bag" about Rocked On Podcast Network. And this is for me, Don. This has been 2 years in the making. 2 years in the making, bro.
Damn.
You and I had not some history, bro, but we had an interaction, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But I saw a video that was shared that from another guy, and I saw a video, and it was exposing Will.
What you guys saying about the channel rules? I respect channel rules. Trace did her best to keep rock. Oh, gotcha. Hell yeah, dude. Brent, do I even have channel rules? I don't think I've ever seen you guys take action on anybody. Like the most was 2 people have said something, and basically, like, if it's the live chat, if my moderators are like, "What the fuck?" I take action. You know what I'm saying? Like, I take action. Like, I think we're pretty open-ended here. Saints week 1, fuck yeah, easy W, dude, easy W. And then out to the overbloated fucking super expensive game. Did you guys see the price of tickets to Germany? 2 nonstop flights from fucking Detroit to Germany started like $3,600, bro. It's wild. Trace is well aware of mod rules. I don't know that there are, like, I didn't know that there were. Guys, I am realizing that there's so much more to YouTube that I did not understand. I'm over here like, we are doing great, dude. We're getting after it. We're heading after 1,000 subscribers. And then I hear people talking. I'm like, what the fuck are you even talking about? What are you talking about? What the fuck is this? I just talking to a stick. I talking to a stick, man. You guys do all this stuff. I talking to a stick. What's all this other stuff? You know what I'm saying, bro? Exactly, dude. Yeah, we wanted a nice little walk and talk and sauce to Saints week 1. Let's go.
Rock for alleged charity fraud. And this person, I'm not gonna mention his name because him and I have a very,
Brent, that's pretty much it, dude. Yeah, we're pretty much just following the Constitution and the Bill of Rights,
and in
bro.
this video, it was alleged that Will Rock, the charity, Rocked On Cancer Foundation, is not an actual foundation. It has no charity number, like no IRS tax, none of that stuff. It is through Buy Me a Coffee. And I'm wondering how, so that's one part of it, and we'll get to that. But what this is this is going to be a story time. Now, you guys have heard my story. Don let it rip the other day. You heard all of his story, but we're gonna run this thing like a movie. Kill
not
Bill,
all of it. Didn't hear-
metaphorically. He got volume 2 where Will Rock, you might know him as Rocked On Podcast Network.
I am skipping around just to get through some of the filler, guys.
In the fall of 2023, as the Lions are starting their 2023 season, he reaches out to me through email and all the super chats, I will talk to you. I will address them so you can keep them, but we gonna get through this. Okay. We got a situation where he reaches out to me in October of 2023. So this is before the Lions go on their run where they, 2024, where they wind up going 15 and no, I'm sorry, it's the 2023 season. I want to make sure I have it right. So it's before the run. He comes out and he tells me through email that he likes my content and blah, blah, blah. He's a season ticket holder and that he wants to meet me at the game. So I'm like, okay. So I meet him at the game and we decide, he tells me he wants to collaborate with me. He likes what I do and yada, yada. So me being the nice guy that I am, I take him up on his offer and I say, okay, let's collaborate. Let's have some, let's try this thing. So after some time, we start up a collaboration. Now, this is in October of 2023. By March of 2024, as in most cases with collaborations, it's over with. And that's why people were asking us if we broke up, because we went missing for 2 weeks and people are like, yo, did we break up? And I'm like, no, but that's what they're used to. So I decide and I reach out to, so he's trying to get information from me and learn how to grow YouTube. So I'm doing what I usually do. I tell people what to do. I suggest what to do. Here's how I reach success. It's just who I am, bro. It's part of like my DNA. I can't help myself. So I suggest to him that we start a channel. Okay. You had Ebony Ivory, you had Yin Yang, you had Mr. Visine Dry Eyes over there. And then you had me, that is the life of the party. So I figured it would go good together. So he's up and coming. And I said, you know what? Let's start a channel. It can be under your brand. All right. I got a billion channels. I don't feel like dealing with it no more. So let's start a channel. When it's time to get monetized, we'll break it up 50-50. We're co-owners of the channel, but you can have it on your network, meaning YouTube gives you 50 channels. You can have it over there. Okay. I don't need it. All I want is my money. So by the time we start getting paid, cut me my money, my 50%.
I'm over here like, should I make a clips channel?
Because
these cats over here have 50 channels. Fuck, man.
That was the deal. So now
run me my bread.
So fast forward now to now during this time, we're talking every day. And as I told everybody in my live stream yesterday, I have every single text message that we had together for the simple fact of something told me, a little birdie, maybe it was Minnie Rippleton with the love in you, told me, do not trust this individual fully. So keep one foot in one door and one foot out. Keep one eye open, one eye closed. So I kept every single text message, every single interaction that we've had, I kept it. And it was something he said that set me off. Okay. So I'm like, I don't really trust this dude. So let me fall back. Let me keep them receipts just in case.
Well,
now,
Dave, I'm hoping to be one of those authentic people, bro. I mean, you watch me.
Like,
so that means that, right?
Dirt upon dirt.
Thanks, brother.
The end of the road, I got nothing left. And still, it's going to take everything for me to bring out receipts. Because for me, I think once you bring out private conversations that had no intentions of being shared, then that's you can't come back from that.
That's true.
So fast forward to the show starts. I'm telling everybody, Rocked On Syndicate. We come up with the name. Somebody in the chat came up with the name. We come up with the name, and we start the show. Okay?
Hey, real quick, is the what is it? Rocked On Lions UK, the English blokes, the guys on the other side, the wrong side of the Freedom Pond. Are they affiliated? Is that part of the Rocked On network? Am I to assume that? Am I reading that right?
Now we have people coming from my channel because his is virtually non-existent at the time. So we started a new channel. My suggestion to start a new channel, because I know a little bit about a little something about YouTube. I only got 33K. I know a little something. I got multiple channels.
Yeah.
And a lot of my folks is coming over there. We vibing. We got this morning show.
That's Roar the Lions.
So the morning
gotcha.
show, I'm like,
thanks, bro.
I could, my kid to school.
Bro. I can't. Dude, guys. I'm such an idiot, dude. I can't keep these fuckers straight, dude. Like, part of the reason why I didn't do like Hat and Beard Lions channel or something like that, why I just stuck with the Hat and Beard show is like you remember that. You know what I mean? It's not like, which one is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty distinct. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to remember when everything kind of blends. Rocked On Lions, Roar the Lions, Rocked Syndicate, Syndicate Roar, you know, or what, you know what I'm saying? All these variations and blending. But I get it, when they're combining forces, you kind of have to. Speaking about combining forces, Woodward being bought out, boy, you guys are really missing a golden opportunity for a 10 to 11 a.m. show. Buying, you know, you could just broadcast. You could just broadcast my stream. You know, a little bit of a, you know, a little bit of a fee there, but I'm just saying, you know, maximize your effort.
Oh, because he was in middle school at the time. I got to take him to school. I can't get on till 8:30. He like, all right, cool. We'll start at 8:30.
Rick,
I can only get on Tuesdays and Thursdays because I got my own obligations.
Oh, there's
on my
Locked On and
Monday,
Rocked On.
Friday.
Yeah, Brent, that's right, because Durgo pointed that out. How he kind of ripped off Locked On. And Rick, that's hilarious. You're like, Derek referred me to the Pebble in the first place. The feud is why I unsubbed from both. There you go, dude. And you know what, buddy? You know what, bud? I'm glad you did. Not to take it away from those guys. But had you not, you might never have been here, dude. And I'm glad you're here, bud. You know what I'm saying? There's so many Lions podcasts and channels, there's no way to remember them. I know, dude. And here I thought I was getting into a market that would have been a little less saturated.
Now we fast forward to the show kicks off. We everybody vibing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's good. Y'all
Brent
work good
Supreme's
together,
getting his
yada, yada.
cereal in.
So now March of 2024
getting that treatment taken care of.
And what we used to do is we used to bounce topics off each other, just like me, you, and Mike do. What we gonna talk about today? Blah blah blah. So he would send me a link to the channel, right, to the live stream. Now here's something that tipped me off as well. When we discussed the future of the channel, he was supposed to give me, okay, because it was half my channel, just under his entire kind of branding, because again, I plan on using all 50 of my channels one day. So I said, you can have it, but this is going to be the, you know, so when you do that, you can give people permissions for a channel. Okay. And you can allow them a certain level of things they can see. They can be an editor. They can be
See, I didn't know all this.
A manager. You can see financials. You can do all that stuff. So he kept running into a problem giving me access to the channel. So I'm like, that's check number 2. That's flag number 2.
See, and like, this is where I personally get a little bit like salty. It's like, thanks, guy. Because there are some of us who genuinely like don't know this stuff. And because either you did or did not know and were either authentic or using it as a bullshit excuse, like, you now kind of shut doors for other people. You know what I mean?
So again, I don't trust this guy. He even invited to pay for me to go to the San Francisco game for the NFC
My bad,
Championship.
Jack.
I'm like,
I'm sorry for getting into the drama, dude.
I'm straight
My bad.
on that.
This isn't going to be an ongoing thing.
Nothing.
This is just going to be kind of like.
So I'm like, nah. So I got there my own way.
There'll be an ongoing thing to an extent. You'll see. Just hang on to you know, kind of towards the end here.
I was funded by the chat. Okay, I asked for their help because I knew it was a once in a lifetime. They came through in the clutch. So now fast forward to, it's about free agency, the draft 2024. So we bring on, and no disrespect to the big homie, we bring on Eric. Eric pops up. Now this is a collaboration effort. We talked to Mike before we went live today, and we said, Mike, you good with this, bro? With the SyndiCats 365, because this is me and Don's situation. He like, yeah, man, it's all good. Roll with it. We like, cool.
I don't
but that's
know
what
who
you do
Eric
when you collaborate.
and Mike are. I don't know who
get
these players are.
everybody's input, right? So Eric gets on. He brings Eric on, and I'm like, okay, so is Eric replacing me or what? No, Eric's on just for the beginning because you can't get here. I'm like, okay, cool. So now Eric does that, and I would come on, then Eric slid out. It's like, cool. So now we get there. So now we're past all that, and I'm waiting on my link. It's the show. I'm waiting on the link. I don't see my link. So next thing I know, he live on SyndiCats, the Rise and Grind. He's live. I'm waiting on my link. I'm looking for my link. I don't have it.
You know, Brent,
Hold
that's
on.
pretty much. Yeah, I can
Before
see
you
that,
go
dude.
further, I just want to let
I can see that.
know.
I agree with the
There
Derek
are
side
no
of that
problems
comment,
with
dude.
Eric renting.
Yeah, I agree with the Derek
Yes.
side of that comment.
Yeah, I just wanted to be
100%,
clear.
has
dude.
any problems with Eric.
I fucking told guys.
Yes.
I straight up told Derek in a message. I was like, dude, I don't watch your content. Like, I don't watch your shit. Like I'll watch it once in a while, but I'm not like an avid watcher. I subscribe to your channel, but like I'm not like, you know what I mean. Then you know that's it. It is what it is. You're doing good. Your show ain't about drama. It's the podcast. It's a bitch. But oh yeah, man. I'm just trying to. I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck is going on and like you know how we can unfuck it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I don't want everybody
very clear. I have
fighting.
no issue at all with Eric.
Can't we all
He's
just
done nothing
get
to me.
along,
I'm just saying,
man?
like, it was not discussed with me that Eric was coming on. I had no idea Eric was on until he was on. And then he's like, no, Eric's not. He's only on temporarily until you can get here. And I'm like, okay, cool. So then we did a show and Eric was on and then Eric slid out and me and him continued.
Thank you,
so again,
Dave.
no issue with
I
Eric.
appreciate that, David. I try, man. I try.
I
There's
have
no
no
sense
issue
in
with Eric. I wanna
fucking
make
blowing
that-
smoke
Thank
through
you,
your
man,
guys'
for clearing
ass,
that
dude.
up because I don't want any misconceptions.
I'm just trying to
So now
keep it
we get to
just trying to keep it real until keeping it real goes wrong.
I'm waiting on the link. I don't get the link, but the show he still goes live. I'm like, what's happening here? Where's the link? So I see, because I could feel something was happening. I could feel through the text messages that something was happening, that this was probably going to end because we went from talking every day, bouncing ideas off each other to now we're not talking at all. It had been a day or two, but I'm still waiting on my
Who's
link.
Eric?
I'm like, something is up, but I'll see when I touch base. But now we get to the point he goes on the show and I'm like, oh, it's like that. So being the man that I am, you know how it is, bro. You like, I ain't talking to you. You ain't talking to me. So I'm just like, okay. So then next thing I know, he changes all the branding. He gets rid of my photos, all of that stuff. And I tell him through text message, I'm like, listen, you're gonna have to get rid of I said change the name of my channel. That's my name on your channel. But at this point, Don, we had brought in about 700 subscribers and 699 was from me. Okay. So I'm like, so you got the audacity to take my idea and then kick me off of it. Okay. So I'm like, all right. And then after that, that's when it all went way downhill. So now we fast forward. I'm like, this dude is a chump, right? So now we get to the opening of the season. And I'm a dude who like to take shots. Because what I noticed about this space, Don, is there's a lot of people, and shout out to the 110 people we got in. It is drama that happens behind the scenes, y'all. We do try to keep it out of the light. But like Don's podcast was the other day, what happened was done in the dark comes to the light. We try to keep it in the dark.
Totally off topic, Brent. I have been getting people like cutting open sweet fucking rocks in my algorithm, bro. And I ain't gonna lie, I sit there and I'm just like, dude, have you seen the guy with the Christosphere? Where he kicked a rock around until it became a smooth ball, dude. Have you seen that guy? It's so cool, man. It's so cool, dude.
Dark, so that we can keep things running smooth. We know y'all don't really care for that. This ain't like TMZ and stuff. Y'all don't care about that stuff like that. You want to know about your team. So we keep it out of the limelight. Okay. But this needs to be addressed. I don't intend on talking about it anymore unless he want to retaliate. Then we going to get to it. All right. So now the shots are being taken.
Hell yeah,
right?
Sleepy.
He's
I
taking shots
appreciate
through
that,
his
brother.
videos. On
Also,
top of that,
you guys follow
he's
Sleepy on
stealing
Twitter, dude. He's funny as fuck,
stealing
dude.
my thumbnails. My
Sleepy's a good
designs,
follow,
my
dude. Him and
titles.
Kane,
He's
you guys are
literally
fun to
copying
interact with,
himself
man. Oh, Figs,
word for word, bar
Mr.
for bar,
Figs,
stealing
whenever
my
you
whole
decide to
flow.
get back on Twitter and play around,
Shout
you're
out to Soulja
fun
Boy.
too,
Stealing my
man.
whole flow.
I ain't seen you in
And
a
I'm
grip,
like,
dude. Mr.
nah, I'm just
Mr.
taking
I
it,
gotta
I'm
work.
taking it, I'm
Mr.
taking
I gotta
it.
pay my
I'm like,
bills.
inspiration,
Mr. I
imitation,
gotta work.
flattery.
I'm
Okay,
fucking
okay,
with you,
don't
man.
pop,
I'm
Derek.
just fucking with you, man.
Now we get to
You know I
the
love you
point
guys.
where the season kicks off of 2024. I say something about him. This fool is in my chat listening to the podcast, right? He comments, and I'm like, it ain't no way that this is Will. He said something snappy. I clap right back at him. It ain't no way this is Will. We click on his live stream or his comment. It takes us to his channel. It's Will. I go the heck off. Pop a gasket. Even you caught a stray. And we'll get to that in a minute. I pop a gasket. I'm ready for war at this point. No, you didn't. So he's calling me a liar. You're all lies. So then he sends me a text to tell me that I need to cease and desist. This is my chance to resist or retract and resist some garbage. And I'm like, what's good, bro? What you want to do? So now I throw a shot at you. You just called a shot. You was chef at the time. And now after that's over, I'm waiting on the smoke. I'm waiting on the smoke from him, all that stuff. And I'm sitting there and something ain't right on my heart, bro. Cause I'm not a mean guy. I'm the nicest guy until I'm not. You screw me over. Now we got a problem. So it ain't weighing on me. It's weighing on me wrong. It's eating at me. So I'll reach out to you through Twitter and I say, listen, man, we've never talked before. I want you to know I took this shot at you you didn't deserve that. That's on me. And I apologize for it. And you was like, it's cool, blah, blah, blah. And that was the end of that. But that brings us to, now I'm going to pass it to Kill Bill, or Kill Will in this case, part 2. So I'm going to pass it to you. That was the last kind of interaction I had. And it's been, but before I do that, I got to say this, and I'm going to let you go. I have had numerous people through YouTube and privately in text message and email reach out to me and say, dog, are you messing with this guy? I've had a dude on Twitter reach out to me and said, yo, somebody told me to talk to you about Will. I've had multiple people, some of them reach out to me and say, what is the deal with this guy? I've had people thank me for addressing the entire matter. So I'm going to pass it to you. So now I've apologized. I take a shot. I come through you through Twitter. I say what I got to say. Now I'm going to pass it to you for you to tell your side.
All right, since we referenced Soulja Boy earlier, said I'm gonna pass it off to A-Rab and he gonna crank it up for show. So anyway, y'all let me know if y'all can hear my heater in the background. If you can, I will turn it off for y'all. But so all this is going on. I reach out because I was Chef. Chef was a character that I created with my kids. And I'm not gonna go into the story as how I created the character, but it was a character I created with my kids. So I reached out to Will as I had kind of gotten into the space right at the tail end of COVID. And so I wasn't consistent. I wasn't serious. I was working and I was doing some other stuff. So I come to Australia, and the biggest reason why I reached out to him is because I'm like, man, I got to get this podcast going because, I got to get it monetized. I got to get it working for me. I've been dabbling. I've been doing this and that, but nothing really consistent. So I reached out to him. I was like, yeah, for some reason, I just thought that he would be a person that would respond. I don't know what it was at the time. I hadn't watched him at all. I didn't know how boring he was. I didn't know how mind-numbingly dull he was. I didn't know any of that. Just reached out to him. So he replied, and he was like, yeah, want to get you on the show, talk football, whatever the case may be. So I went on the show, talk football. He liked me. His chat liked me. So, he wanted me to become part of his network. So I become part of the network. He's got these little rinky-dinky contracts that he has. So everything was going fine. And then you start to notice things such as I have my own show on his network. And he tells me that if I want to have guests on the show, I need to clear it with him. Because, and I quote, I don't know who you know. I don't want people smoking weed and drinking 40s on the live stream.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, that's crazy. That's racist. Obviously, as a black person, somebody's got to be drinking 40s in my live stream. That's crazy. I don't personally drink myself, and I don't do drugs myself, so I don't know why.
Hold the phone there, Hoss.
40s or
I used to drink a shitload of 40s, all right, and I used to smoke a bunch of fucking blunts. In fact, full disclosure, I can't roll a joint, but I can twist a fucking blunt. There you go.
smoking weed on my live stream. So there was stuff like that. Then the situation is that I am in Australia. At the time, I wasn't able to work here. So there was a lot of talk about equity in his company that he was going to give me. There was promises of, if you stick around for 3 years, I'll give you a computer so you can, live stream. A state of the art is this, that, and the third thing. There was can you run my Facebook page? And, gonna give you the money for that, because if Eric can do it, because I got to do this now. If Eric can do it, I can do it. Eric doesn't know anything about what he's doing. He just got lucky. He's just a dumb guy that made a video about some rocks and then he got successful overnight. So he's got
When do we play the
200,000
Vikings?
subscribers on his Facebook channel or Facebook page.
Due by May 10th.
So I should be able to have that too.
Hang on,
And I need
Hoss.
you to help me put
What's going on here, bud?
on-
You're saying right here, due by May 10th. Deposits due by May 11th. Bro, how many people ride this bus? Bro. All right. Just right off the rip, though, real quick here. If we're just going to use this, just say there's 45 seats, right? $4.50 per seat. That's not what I want. That's what I want. 45 seats at $4.50. Comes out to 20 G's. 22.5. What's the itinerary? It doesn't specify what. Well, let's just use Greyhound as a barometer. September. So we'll just say September 1st. Let's just say we'll just say September 4th, just for shits and giggles. All right, so right now they've got it at we'll just say highball $80 per. So he's 2xing, well, 1.3xing. Let's go ahead and divide that by 80. It's going to go ahead and equal $235 per profit per person. Well, and then you got to, yeah, okay. So you know what? Actually, all right. Just kind of cursory, and I mean very rudimentary number search here. Look at the itinerary. I don't think he's making any money on this. I'm gonna be honest with you. Just based off of the bus numbers alone. Let's go ahead and do this again. So let's just do this. So they're billing at 80. We'll just say 45 seats because that we used last time. Comes out to 3,600. That's going to leave us with 17K left over to play. Then you're going to want to get down in here into the hotel accommodations, the food. All right, so what does it all include? One ticket, one game ticket. Okay. Yeah, one game ticket, one raffle entry, additional raffle ticket maybe purchased, onboard snack. Honestly, yeah, dude, I don't... Because what's a ticket? No dates yet. No, they ain't even up yet. What's the ticket gonna cost? Oh, you know what, Brent? Yeah, Grandma Tracy. That's actually the other thing, though, is all right. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to math out to kind of see how close we are just in overall. So if you just kind of run rudimentary numbers right off the rip, if you just say that we're running 45 seats, right? Let's just say that there's 45 seats. 45 at 450 is 20.250. Then you go over there and you contrast that with just the first number right off the rip here, dude. And I just did it. I rounded down to 80 instead of, I should have rounded up to 81. But if you bill out 80 seats at, or $80 a seat at 45, that comes out to 3,600. You deduct that from the 22.25. You end up with, we're using very rounded numbers here. You end up with 1,700. You're talking game tickets, hotel, food. If he's paying himself out of it for, if this is his merch, hypothetically, I'm just going off of very rough numbers. Seems kind of legit, actually. But I can't. The issue then is it runs into how often you say the bus trips never worked out. And that is another issue right down here. Deposit by 11th. Deposits fully refundable for May 31st. Received after May 31st are strictly non-refundable. You know what I mean? That's a little shady. That's a little shady, dude, because okay, so a lot of times bank deals like this, if he's going to get like a discount deal, it's like you got to sell all the tickets, right? So like sell all but 2 of the tickets, you don't meet the threshold to engage the fee. But by not selling that, you can't offer the experience, non-refundable. You're walking away with $19,000. Does that kind of make sense? That I'm not, again, not accusing, just reframing kind of how the image is that we could look at this. We'll finish a few more minutes here of this.
On the page so that we can get this going. These are things that he's said about Eric behind Eric's back. So
yeah, they're a fantasy if they've
and
never
I'm
happened,
airing
guys.
this
Yeah,
out
for sure.
So that when it gets back to Eric and when he goes live,
100%, Jack. I do too, bro. That'd be cool.
All Eric needs to do is watch it himself. Okay. So Eric, he's talked about you behind your back. He's told you blah, 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 blah. The dude has bad things to say about everyone. He had terrible things to say about Derek. There were some other creators that he met and he just started talking about Derek, right? Now at the time, again, like I said, I was just kind of introduced to the Lions podcast space, the Lions creator space at the tail end of COVID, right? We're stuck in the house. I didn't know what a podcast was. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to, I was teaching English and I was like, I'm gonna do some comedy skits about teaching. You know, like that's what I was trying to figure out during COVID. So, I didn't know anybody really in the space, and had I known, I may have seen Derek's name, but I was like, nah, he's got too many subscribers. He's probably not gonna. He's probably not going to respond if I DM him. And probably should have just DM'd Derek first, and I would have, all of this stuff wouldn't have happened. Right.
Hey, everything happens the way it's supposed to, though.
Right. That's true. Yeah. So yeah, he's talking about Derek. Everybody hates him. He's, you know, this, that. I taught him everything he knows. I showed him, like, now at the time, this dude has like between 3,000 and 5,000 subscribers. I don't remember. You're telling me at this time Derek had like 20,000. And he's like, yeah, I taught him everything he knows. He didn't know how to make thumbnails before he got with me. He didn't know how to do this, that, and the third thing. And I'm like, okay. If you taught him everything he knows, why are you so far behind him in subscribers? I don't get that one. I guess he took what you taught him and just went to the stratosphere. Like, oh, thanks. I didn't know that. I had 2 subscribers before you. Now I've got 20,000.
Mhm.
Okay. So he was always talking about Derek. He was always talking about people behind their backs. He was always just this, that, and the third thing. So he's getting all of this work out of me. And again, the slime ball thing is that he had knowledge of the fact that I couldn't legally work in Australia and I couldn't legally make money in Australia. So he's promising me all of this stuff. And then in the contract, it says something about basically like, you know, you won't get paid if the content that you create doesn't make any money. Cool. Right? That's fine. But I was just creating all this content. I was posting, I was doing all this stuff, scheduling posts, all this, organizing thumbnails, all of this stuff. You could at least kick me down something for all the work that I was doing. Okay. Then I get started working and he becomes extremely clingy and disruptive to the point where he was asking me something. He had me on the phone and I was in the middle of creating a design house because something had happened with some work that I was trying to do and I thought I wasn't going to be able to do the work. So he's interrupting me while I'm creating this design house over something stupid about some technology that he doesn't know how to use. So he goes, you know, he's on the phone with me. Once he finally figures out what I'm telling him, he's like, oh, I'm going to change it to such and such. I said, dog, you can change it to whatever the hell you want to change it to. I need you to get off the phone. I am busy. I'm trying to make some money. I can get off the phone. Guy doesn't talk to me for 2 weeks. Right? Doesn't talk to me for 2 weeks. He's in his feelings. Just like with Derek, we were talking every day, all this other stuff. So then the last straw with him and me was like Derek said earlier. He said, when you can invite someone to your channel, you can have them see different levels of things. So I think I was like an editor on his channel or something like that. There was one level above. And he says to me while on the phone, I don't know if it was just stream of consciousness speaking and he didn't realize what he was saying. He was going to make me the level ahead of that. But he was like, oh, this person can see the financial details, so I don't want to give you that. He literally said to me he didn't want me to be able to see the financials. Cool. Now I'm planning my exit because you just told me you don't want me to be able to see the financials, which is crazy. Okay. So I'm planning my exit. I'm checking out. And he wanted me to make like 3 videos a day and all this other stuff. And at this time I had started working. So I'm like, dude, I don't have time to do all of that. You know what I mean? Got a family, 3 children. So, rent is due, all this other stuff. So he goes, he calls me he texted me one day and he told me I could have made $800 more that month if I had made like 50 more videos. And I was like, 800 more. More implies that you had paid me something at all. I never saw a cent from that man. So he sends me like a screenshot of the analytics and all this other stuff. So I'm like, okay, cool. I kept it. Didn't say nothing to him. When I replied to the email, to the text message, I said, look, man, I don't have any time to do any of this anymore. So I'm going to leave. You expect this to be done, that to be done, the third to be done. I don't have time to do it. So I think we should just part ways. Oh, well, you know, if you want such and such. No. I'm leaving. I said, my last show on your channel, I think was supposed to be the NFC Championship game. Okay. He goes, no, you don't have to do that. And just revokes my access to everything. I can't go live during the NFC Championship game. So I quickly make my own channel. And I was going to go live during the NFC. Sorry, my last show wasn't supposed to be an NFC Championship game. It was supposed to be something like right before that. So I quickly made my own channel. I had actually been planning to make my own channel. So I had some graphics, I had some logos and all this stuff. I had already picked the name. I had already made the channel, right? But I hadn't done anything with it. So subsequently, because I hadn't been live, and YouTube has this requirement, like you have to like activate live, and 24 hours later you can go live or whatever. So I didn't have all that done during the NFC Championship game. So I was just kind of live tweeting and, you know, reacting that way for the NFC Championship game. So sometime after that, he gets wind that I have my own channel, right? Now, mind you, I had my own channel before I started dealing with him, okay? But this was a new channel that I started because I didn't want him thinking, oh, you know, you kept this chef character and I own it and all this other stuff. No, you don't. But if you think that, that's fine. So that's why I'm Motor City Don P. So now he starts sending me emails, cease and desist, all this other garbage. He sends me an email that says, I broke the contract. I stole his intellectual property. You know what his intellectual property is? Canva. Canva is a platform created by Australians. I live not too far from the head office. Okay. So Canva, this is his intellectual property, Canva, right? Because he was using Canva to make thumbnails. I'd like everybody to know. I'm a graphic designer. I have a diploma in graphic design. I got it during COVID. Sir, I don't need you. I didn't steal anything from you. I am a graphic designer by trade. People pay me to make logos. People pay me to make websites. Okay? So, no. He wanted me to do a website. This is another slimy thing that he wanted to do. He wanted me to do a website that was like, I don't know, 50 pages. He didn't want to pay me what I told him that it would cost.
He said it's going to cost this much. He said, fuck you.
Equity in his channel, in his network. And so we never.
Sounds like you dodged a bullet, brother.
I never did any work for his website because I was like, equity is cool, but I'd like the money, please. You know what I mean? So anyway, so he emails me, season this, and then he goes, if you want to
Well, Kane,
reactivate your,
you know, I don't want to be that guy, but based on his own description here, he says he was self-referred to a cancer center and that doctors, 14 specialists, are like, you don't have cancer. I'm not trying to be that guy, but when he says that he has thyroid cancer and how it's super vague, the symptoms are slow-growing, vague symptoms, meaning it can go undetected for years. I don't know much about thyroid cancer, right? But just kind of when you look at diagnosed with thyroid cancer, even after diagnosis came years after medical oversight, despite his request for testing, doctors dismissed his concerns, resulting in multiple endocrine disorders. Even after self-referring to a cancer center, the fallout from the eventual removal surgery caused severe ongoing medical complications. Today, Will is still fighting. After seeing 14 specialists, he is currently undergoing further testing at the Cleveland Clinic. Still Munchausen by proxy. Still Munchausen syndrome. Just I don't want to call the credibility into question, but by his own admission, self-admitted, you know what I mean? He's taking a break when asked about the drama. He replied, I have cancer treatment. Yeah. Now is that, and again, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I am merely using his own words here. Is that self-referred cancer treatment? What's up, is that Jen 0657? You're in shock and ticked? About what? About me? I'm sorry. It is what it is. But my point is, like, I don't... This is a very sticky situation because you want to handle it with grace and care, but at the same time, you know... When all indicators and red flags are kind of going up and it's not passing the sniff test, it again is kind of like, well, you know, that's pretty convenient, you know, and not for nothing, but based on just kind of everything we're seeing without the lack of transparency, it does feel that you're using cancer as a bit of an emotional leverage and crutch and shield, right? Like you say, when asked about the drama, he replied, I have cancer treatment. That's a non-answer. That's deferring or deflecting. You know what I mean? That's trying to weasel your way out of it with an emotional twist. You know what I mean? Oh, ticked about the Rock issue. Yeah, Jen, I am too, and we're probably not going to finish out the syndicate or the SyndiCats because ultimately what I'm really upset about, man, is just the manipulation, the lack of transparency, the abusing people's good nature. You know what I'm saying? And as I've said a million times before, I'm guilty of it too. I didn't realize that there was all of this that went involved in it, and I solicited donations through Super Chats just last year. Okay? It is what it is. But like I don't like the money thing. If you go through and read all of this, it does kind of feel as though, you know, when you see terms, and this is what we'll end with all this here, guys. We'll get out of here with this. Waking up from surgery, Will found a renewed purpose. Jesus Christ, right? He found his purpose and following the truth and the light, and that is Jesus Christ, right? Facing a lifelong medical battle, he refused to let his childhood dream of working in the sports industry fade. To cope with the stress of actively rehabilitating his vocal cords post-surgery, he began drafting articles and recording a podcast. So, again, waking up from surgery, my new purpose was to start a foundation that I could solicit donations and wash it through a 501c3 tax-exempt status, or just take it as actual donations directly to me, because as we have found out thanks to DerGoMobby, Rocked On Cancer Foundation is not a Michigan 501c3. All charitable donations are not tax-exempt. When you look at how the bus shit breaks down, non-refundable after May 31st, if you sell 43 of those 45 tickets, you're going to net $19,000. And then you're going to wash it through a 501c3. And then you're going to pay yourself. Because a anonymous subscriber battling cancer for 3 years glazed you. It took incredible courage to provide those for others while you were struggling. You have inspired me to keep pushing. You taught me to be staying consistent with the battle. Well, 3 years ago, you and your wife were both diagnosed with cancer. And then a Rocked On team member echoed the statement, "I think Will is so great," would persistently show up even though he was sick to help others in a statement about who he is. Really? 2? You mean your wife and you? Come on, man. It's just shifty. It's shady. You gotta come, dude. You gotta come with receipts, bro. You gotta open up. You gotta be transparent. You gotta shine the light, dude. Oh yeah, dude. Watch out for them ticks, dude. Dude, that dickhead Bill Gates, bro. For real. He wants us eating bugs, dude. He wants us eating that a cheddar. Also, why would he have his partner on his channel do the live streams? I have no idea. Or why couldn't he? Oh, why couldn't he? Yeah, so that's the other thing. I don't know about the partnerships, but dude, yeah. So like, okay, if I were to like have to step away for whatever reason, right? Probably would just I would probably just take a hiatus. But if there was a possibility, if I was big enough making money and it was like, hey, can I pay someone to be a temporary host? You know, if the individual was right, or if you were already working with a co-host. I mean, it's not that hard. Fucking Steven Crowder had heart surgery and people filled in for him. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a very good point, dude. Why can't his co-host hold it? It feels like it just feels shady, guys. It just feels shady. So, you know, let's at least I want to say give him some time or give him the ability to respond, but it feels like you're retreating, you're begging for time and trying to hide further in the guise or under the guise of cancer, which is what you seem to be just wrapping yourself in from top to bottom. Just top to bottom. It just seems like this whole cancer thing is chicanery. Now, before we get out of here, the last couple minutes, guys, I just want to let you know what I would kind of like to try and do. Okay, I have obviously been in a little bit of contact with some people, and I mean very little contact, like a couple messages exchanged. Not like we're like, hey, buddy, let's go to the old fishing hole. That ain't happening, right? That's not how it's happening. But what I think would be cool is if one of these cats, like if Derek already has a foundation or whatever, you know, if one of these guys is already kind of on the cusp, I think it would be really cool if all of us like collectively ran a charity and tried to just like set a $50,001 goal and just blow him, just blow the Pebble completely out of the water. You know what I mean? Just like charity mog him. You know what I mean? Like turn charity into an actual competition. Just like weaponize charity and just like see how much money we can actually raise just to mog the shit out of him and then just give it to like St. Jude's. You know, like that. I think that'd be awesome, dude. I think that'd be awesome. Oh, hell yeah, Brent. I appreciate that, brother. The thing is, I don't ever go on vacation. When I go on vacation, I stay here and just give you guys more content. When I go on vacation, it's for the NFL draft or Hat and Boob's birthday. All right, guys. What do you think? Hit the like button, share this around, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I think we had a relatively good show. The Lone Star tickets are so prevalent in Florida at the moment. Gross, dude. I hate that shit, dude. I hate that shit. Opie Town looks like Ben Johnson. Dude, for real, though. For real, dude. As a reminder, guys, we will be off tomorrow. Okay, I have a 4-day weekend. And gonna spend tomorrow with Hat and Boobs, gonna kick it and chill it, and gonna go out and mow the lawn today, mow the lawn tomorrow, mow the lawn on Saturday, maybe even squeeze in a fourth mow on Sunday. You never know. Also was maybe considering having a couple of, like, I was thinking maybe today, since it is my day off after I get done mowing, maybe I'd have a couple soda pops in the garage and have a little happy hour live stream with you guys, a little mobile live stream, just kind of a hangout. I don't know, something else kicking around. We'll see. Let me know. Tweet at me or something. Get after me. Great show. Much appreciate your time. That Raw, I appreciate that, man. Dude, I'm not saying that you were, doing everything you could to defend him, but I was curious kind of how your stance was if I delivered this all in a palatable enough demeanor and way that I full disclosure, guys, I texted Hat and Boobs last night, and I was like, I'm kind of nervous about this live stream because I don't know what expectations you guys are gonna have, and I didn't really know what expectations we were gonna have, so that's why we just tried to just kind of just go through it together. You know what I mean? Just try and go through it together. What's up, Lions today? Mike, would that be old micro? It's the icon thing. I'm guessing. How you doing, man? Good to see you, dude. I don't know how to mow my lawn. My son-in-law lives in my house. Gotcha. Dude said we would be swinging from Brad's balls. Unbiased POV. Thank you, Raw. I was trying, man. I'm just trying to go through the information as it's presented for us and trying to look at it through as many different viewpoints as we possibly can. Unfortunately, it would be my take that until a response and receipts are shown, all evidence would lead me to believe that this is, to quote someone, and I don't know if you want me to name you, bud, but if you're cool with it, you can take claim for the quote, dude. At best, he is a bad steward of charitable donations. At worst, he is a fraud. That's pretty much what it is. That's kind of my take. When you look at it, now again, we got to see the receipts, man. You have to be transparent. You are on the right path with the addition of the we are not a 501c3. You know what I'm saying? With that addition down here at the bottom, you are trying you're trying, dude. Come on. You're turning the ship, dude. You can do it. Come on. Just be transparent, brother. You got to be, and I mean, you got to be hat and beard transparent, dude. You want to sit down? I'll Sean Ryan interview your ass, dude. We'll get through this motherfucker. But it's not going to be comfortable for you because I don't put up with bullshit. So, there is a route. There is a road. There is a road to at least attempt redemption. Now, whether or not people want to accept it, then grandma wagon this. If you do this, there is no guarantee people will accept it. And that's just the reality of it. But for my mental health, for your morality, and ultimately for your soul, you got to come clean, brother. You got to make amends, and you have to be transparent with it, dude. You know what I'm saying? If a single dollar was taken away from cancer patients, that's demonic, no lie. 100%, dude. 100%, dude. And that's why I was thinking we should try and start our own little like $50,001 charity, like all of us, and just spam the shit out of it and mog his charity. Just like I would love to become so obnoxious with charity fundraising that it's just like, oh my God, we get it. You love raising money. Like, dude, I would love to raise money for Tim Tebow, for St. Jude's. You know what I'm saying? I was just looking up a second ago how to start a charity to help people get wheelchair accessible vehicles, because we have people in the chat who require that. You know what I'm saying, dude? I think we should just mog the shit out of him, bro. I think that'd be so funny, dude. I appreciate that, though, Lions, dude. Thank you so much, man. That's what's up, dude. Only sitting down with you, his TDS won't allow. And you know what, Jack? That's actually something that I was kind of wondering is look, guys, you guys know me, dude. I am fucking you. You get what you see. You know what I'm saying? I like the boss. You know what I'm saying? So, sometimes I'm like, I don't know how many of these people really want to talk to me. You know what I mean? And if he don't want to talk to me, that's fine. But motherfucker, I'm giving you an opportunity. Here, I can at least try to help you. I can give you an opportunity to come clean. Whether you want to or not, I can lead a donkey to water. But if he don't want to drink, you know what? That's fine. That's on him. That's him. And it just that will then answer what we already kind of know. We don't know, but we know. You know? Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, Rick, for sure. I don't know if you've seen it, dude. For real, I was like, right after you commented that, I was like, oh, that's interesting, dude. So I started looking it up. And then I started looking up conversion kits because I was like, well, what if I started like a charity that just did conversions? You know what I'm saying? We're just looking it up, dude. Just looking it up, bro. I worked at Spectrum Health Children's Hospital for 7 years. I've seen a lot of sadness, sickness, death. The answers must be sad. Dude, yeah. Yeah, dude, Lions. And that's the thing, bro. Like, the treatment of everybody in the community aside, preying on people's good nature is bad. Preying on people who are already susceptible to emotional strings through cancer. Cancer's touched everybody, right? And what appears to be maliciously preying on those people for your own financial gain, you know, that deserves a Rochambeau. You know what I'm saying? At the very least, that deserves a Rochambeau. You know what I mean, dude? It's just dirty. It's just dirty. TDS has a cure. It takes a dose of freedom. That's so you know, Don P's in Australia. I sent him a voice message today, dude, and I was like, I ended up with like, hey man, and just so you know, they're over here in the United States is fresh, free, and clean, baby. I'd make the stewardship comment, but just have his behavior and the facts. Yep, that was Kane. I wanted to ask you if it was okay. Again, I don't like to reveal conversations that I have with people or things. But yep, that was Kane, dude. That was Kane's take on the stewardship. That was a Kane special right there, man. Kane's been doing some fucking hard work on the back end, fellas. Y'all, for real, Kane's the man, dude. Kane's the man, you guys. For real, Kane's the man, dude. Kane's the man. Go follow him on Twitter. Kane's the fucking man, dude. For real. Go follow Kane, dude. For real. And also, if you guys haven't already, and I cannot really imagine any of you haven't already, go subscribe to Lions Today, for fuck's sake. Are you serious? Go subscribe to the OG. Get after it now. Go on now. Chop now. Go get after it now. Let's go. I didn't want you to stand out alone with that. I didn't want you to stand alone with that. Oh, well, dude, I thank you, Kane. I appreciate that, dude. But I'm standing with you and your incredibly base statement, dude. In fact, Kane, dude, brother, that statement hit so hard, dude, that I told Hat and Boobs that before she left for work at 6:30 this morning, dude. I told her that. I was like, Kane had this great take. Hell yeah, Lions, bro. For sure, dude. I appreciate all the work you've been doing, man. For real. Fucking grind, dude. We might as well change your name to Matabo, dude, because you're just out there grinding, brother. You know what I'm saying, dude? Change your name to fucking Matabo or Hitachi or, God forbid, a DeWalt. I'm more of a Milwaukee guy myself, but, you know, change your name to fucking Matabo, dude, because you were just grinding, dog. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys, that's got to be it for today. We've been at it for 2 hours and 10 minutes. I am going to go mow the lawn because I'm a dork fish and I've been caught on a corn dog. Keep an eye out. I might go live later today just to hang out in the garage, dude. It's a nice day, dude. It's a nice day. Sunday's a glorious, glorious day. So, until next time, have been a hit in the beard, you have been an attentive audience. Bunga bunga.